basically, I grew up on the banks of Coffs Creek. Spent the majority of my school days surfing and fishing. My grandfather was a commercial fisherman, and unfortunately he was part of the old school. His attitude was take everything you can. I think management over the years has changed that, and with the inception of the marine park, I can remember the doom and gloom that was going to be the marine park on the tourism industry. It never eventuated. The incorporation of the marine park, we were told, was going to affect the tourism industry in Coffs Harbour. To a certain extent, the scaremongers were proven wrong. On several surveys that have been held over the years, there's been no visible or no financial loss of business to the majority of the businesses tourism-based in the Coffs Harbour region, and to maybe a lesser extent, the northern extensions of the park, Wooleye, Mini Waters, those areas, smaller businesses, smaller villages, smaller towns. Predominantly, the tourism base for those people are fishing, the fishermen. So there possibly has been some effect on those businesses. 2008 survey conducted, I think, by the Marine Park Authority. There's, of the 35 commercial tour operators licensed within the marine park, we took approximately 35,000 people out into the marine park. Majority of those people were non-extractive. They're there to experience the marine park for what it is, the beauty, the ability to walk along the beaches, see the marine life, marine wildlife. There are licensed operators who have extractive licences. They're regulated by the state fisheries regulations, and the zoning areas of the park. Again, sorry, I'll have to put the glasses on. Nothing wrong with the eyesight, the arms are too short. 2010 Economic Impact Study by Tourism Research Australia identified 1,731 local businesses linked to tourism within the Clarence and Coffs Harbour local government areas. None of those businesses showed any indication of a decrease in business because of the Solitary Islands Marine Park. And in the same research program, 40% of the visitors who come to the marine park live within a 2-hour drive. So a lot of them, family and friends, travelling together, coming to their traditional holidays areas. And my experience as a licensed tour operator, majority of them had, in the early days in particular, had a very limited knowledge of the marine park at all. We actually provided quite a lot of educational information to the people. We'd have people on our tours and we'd point out, as a normal part of our tour commentaries, that they're operating in a marine park. Majority of our participants were unaware that the marine park existed. So we as a tour operator, quite proud to be part of the education of the people of the importance of the marine park and the reasons why it needs to be protected. With the 2010 Economic Impact Study, 50% of the people responding to the survey went to the beaches. 20% of those people visited estuaries. So the beaches, the estuaries are the main visitation areas. which would be reflective of the fact that we are predominantly a family-based destination. So using the beaches, taking the kids for a swim in the creeks. Of those respondents, 70% indicated swimming and surfing was a physical activity that they were going to participate in. And we had 10% response where fishing was a physical activity that they're going to participate in. And again, reflective of the family-based tourism, 40% of those people were going to be fishing in estuaries. 85% of the respondents found that seeing marine wildlife was an important part of their visit. So that observation and experiencing the wildlife, very important. 57% of them said catching a fish was an important aspect of their visit as well. So fishing or extractive activities is an important part for tourism. It's maybe not as an important part as the recreational fishing may think. I'm of the opinion quite often, if you put a survey out amongst a group of people such as this, and you list activities, swimming, surfing, fishing, sightseeing, whale watching, we all have a memory of fishing as a child, and we might put down that yes, we would be interested in doing fishing. We may not be active fishermen, but we have that memory of childhood fishing or previous fishing, so we put down yes, it's an activity that we may be interested in doing. Not that we are going to do it. So quite often in a lot of the surveys there can be a little bit of a warped response there. The main assets that people found of a holiday in a marine park area was enjoying the relaxing environment. We certainly have plenty of that with the beaches, the estuaries that we have here. With the beaches, swimming and surfing, major aspect of it. Clean water is an important component. Fishing is still an important part of what people like to come and do. The observing of the wildlife, no crabs, no crowds. Yeah. And I can say if we walk down to the end of the road here, Charlesworth Bay, nice little location where I've been operating my tours since '97, and we would probably be the only people on that beach today. Over the years, a lot of the visitors we've brought out here were astounded that they can drive through a resort such as what we have here. We'll pull up down at the car park and we're the only people on the beach, enjoying the beach. And majority of the beaches around here, you will find, it's surprising when we get approximately 1.5 million tourists to this area a year, that how often you can go to a beach and find you have it to yourself. It's a very important part of this area. A lot of the tourists, unfortunately, are unaware of what's under the water. They see the surface, they see what sticks its head above the surface, but they are unaware of what the biodiversity and the resources that we have under the water that I feel are a large contributing factor to this area. And it's the education, the promotion, publicity of that is an important part for tourism. I'm going to back Steve up. I've spent 10 years on the Solitary Islands Marine Park Advisory Committee. Two of my other advisory committee members, Russ Glover and Richard Tafts, the three of us spent 10 years. And I found it quite insulting to be told by a government in Sydney that I'd spent 10 years ignoring scientific research. I don't know, Ashley, you saw a bit of that too, didn't you? Were we in a dream or something? All right? And I'll give credit to Nicola and her staff, Hamish in particular, and Steve in the Research Centre here. It's incredible the amount of scientific research and information that came across the desks for us when we made decisions on zoning. And it was a well-balanced committee. The commercial fishers, the rec fishers, they certainly had their input. Their point of view was considered, it was taken into consideration. There was a little bit of give and take on both sides. I think we found we got quite a balanced result in the end. Ashley will disagree, but then I can understand needing more areas, but we did have to weigh up. One of the important factors for tourism is people want to sit on the beach and have a feed of fish and chips. So we do need the commercial fishers. It's an important part of it, but the correct management is what's required. And I'm ready for a break. Thank you.